What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rule of Thirds podcast. My name is Max.
And my name is Sean.
Today, guys, we got a great show ahead of us. We are going to be recapping Disney's D23 2015 expo press conference thing. I'm really excited about it, but before we get to that, Sean, tell us, what did the community have to say about last time?
Well, last time the community said, hey, what about last time? I kind of dropped the ball and forgot that Mission Impossible was a special... Fantastic Four was a special review. I forgot to read the Mission Impossible Rogue Nation comments. So I'm going to do that really quick, because I did mess up and forgot to read them last time.
Go, Sean.
So apparently Whitley says that he does still enjoy Age of Ultron, and it would take too long for him to explain what he meant. I still think we both disagree with what you're saying, Whitley, about Age of Ultron being a commercial. And then Seth is saying, Twitter effect, the event where a film does really well opening night, but immediately tanks afterwards due to a flood of negative reviews. Yes, that would kind of be Fantastic Four, honestly, but it didn't even really get that great opening.
This is a huge precedent for superhero movies at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, honestly. Like,
it's not. No, I don't think it's like a bad omen or anything. It's just like, wow, this thing is blowing up in everybody's face.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah,
terrible movie. So I mean,
and he says only 5 in theaters, 10-ish overall for movies he watches a year. What is up with that,
buddy? There are ways to watch movies. He said illegally, and
unless you count historical documentaries, he says I watch the crap out of those. So I mean,
those are movies.
Yeah, no, they're cool.
I'm talking about Ken Burns, in which case those are super movies.
Super
movies. As if they take like a week to watch, and by week I mean a full number of hours in a complete week, 24 hours a day. Yeah, those are long, but good times.
Yeah,
good time. The war is special.
I spend most of the time watching YouTube, pacing, listening to Spotify, and writing. He's got some short stories and screenplays. So,
right.
Yeah.
But go watch more movies.
Yes, you should. That will help with screenplays, obviously. So,
yeah.
Do it. And now we're on to the Legacy Effect, which was our last episode. So we have 2 comments again from Seth and Whitley. Whitley says another example of the Legacy Effect backfiring is, of course, the Star Wars prequels. And he says, ignoring quality, people with such high hopes based on the name alone, movies could never meet. And that's... the way when I think about that, it makes me worry about episode 7, because maybe we're kind of doing the same thing where it will never meet what we're expecting, no matter how good it is. So I'm a little worried about that, but I agree that people probably wouldn't be happy even if the prequels were amazing, especially Phantom Menace.
Yeah, again, I think I've said this in the past. Like, listen, we're in a very special time right now where we can be excited for a Star Wars movie and not have to worry about whether or not it's good.
Yeah,
we can just be excited about it. We can have like tons of speculation and we can go crazy about it, which we will later on in this episode.
Oh yes,
and we don't have to like think about the story wasn't as good. Like you can just be excited about something without having to compromise with all of the details about it.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It's like being excited about becoming a grown-up without, talking about, oh man, but I'm going to have to pay bills, and I'm going to have to go to the doctor a lot or something, and I'm going to have to do all these things. Like, you're just excited about it. It's just this nice, like...
I'm not.
Yeah.
Because of all the aforementioned things. He also brings up that Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in Spider-Man 3. He didn't even like Venom, and it was the studio that made him put him in. So... Yeah, I brought up the whole, like, no one would have been happy. I mean, people were upset with how Venom was handled, so apparently that wasn't Sam Raimi's fault, that was the studio.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about this last night with Spider-Man 3. Like, that movie is a Sam Raimi movie. It's just the factors that make people think it's bad are from the studio, not from Sam Raimi.
It's weird. It seems like studios actually start getting nervous later on in movie series. Have you noticed that? Like, it's either right away...
Returns, people are afraid of the sequel. We've gone over this. Like, It's a common thing for studios to get like a little bit too much. Like Marvel Studios, people have been accusing it or them of kind of caving in and trying to stick to its own continuity instead of doing more interesting things like it was doing during Phase 1 and 2.
I don't know. I think Phase 3 is more ambitious. Oh yeah, we'll get to Marvel. Let's hold our Marvel. We have a lot to say. Hopefully, well, not that much, but
anyway, yeah. So Sean, is that all the community has to say?
Seth has one thing.
Oh, okay.
One thing. Seth, yeah, you were the one that reminded me. I forgot the Rogue Nation comment, so thank you for doing that. He says that he loves Deathly Hallows.
Both of them.
And then he outlines a Danny Phantom movie that he's actually working on. So you can go ahead and read that comment. So, I don't want to read it now because it might take a while. But yeah, go ahead, go to the YouTube page for the Legacy Effect, and you can read Seth's kind of basic what people would want in a Danny Phantom movie. And I believe because I haven't seen Danny Phantom, so I've heard it's good.
I mean, you got a lot of work with him. I mean, he's a guy who can, go through walls, disappear, and fly. I mean, he's much more unique than the other guy. But go watch Danny Phantom, Sean. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. It comes from Butch Hartman, who created The Fairly Odd Parents, and it's just like, it's such a cool idea that it surprisingly has never been explored before. So is that all the community had to tell us, Sean?
Yes, that was our community.
So let me ask, how are you doing today, sir?
Good. It's been an interesting day. Got myself a treadmill, so that's exciting.
Another one?
But
Don't you already have one?
No, just had the one. And my small TV fits like exactly on that front rest part, so it's like the TV's like built into the treadmill. It's beautiful.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
So you can watch something while you're walking.
I can play games. Is the hope, because I have
my God.
I have a huge backlog of games. It's embarrassing, so I need to play them. Anyway, you're doing well, Max. Good day.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's I'm in the middle of a heat wave right now. It was like 104 yesterday. 102
Are you serious?
The day before that.
It's 50. It's 50
Are you
here.
serious?
Yeah, it's really cold. I was
Get
cold
out.
this
Montana,
morning.
you need to leave.
What's so funny is that it was in the 90s while I was in Santa Monica, and then as soon as I come back, it's nice and cool. So I guess I just bring good weather with me. So there you go. I have supernatural powers. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Sure, Sean. All right. Yeah. I'm getting ready to go back to college on Monday.
Same here. Friday. I mean, I'm moving back to campus on Friday, and classes start the next week. So
Actually, it's weird. One of my classes just got canceled.
Oh.
So now I have to find another one.
That happened to my roommate. That's always weird when it's like right at the when you're about to start classes again. Suddenly, it's gone. Yeah.
It's very strange, and now I have to like scramble to find a new class. Whatever. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about D23 2015. Now, Sean, how are you? Are you one of those guys who keeps up with Disney news?
I'm
more so than most film news.
Well, yeah, because it occurred to me that I'm actually Disney is my favorite movie studio by a lot, because they own my two favorite franchises, Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they put out a bunch of live action stuff I love, especially Pirates of the Caribbean. And then they have all their Disney movies that I like recently Wreck-It Ralph, for example, and they have Pixar, which is all good. And so it just kind of occurred to me, wow, Disney's my favorite movie studio. And I realized I do actually pay more attention to Disney than most. So yes, I would say I am kind of the more Disney-focused film person than most.
All right. I'm not. I just kind of keep up with their news as it goes out. But
just set me up.
I'll say I'm Pixar, Marvel Studios, Star Wars. Yes, I keep up with all that stuff. But Disney, I still see as its own, as a different entity in the sense that it's the animation studios and whatnot.
Marvel movies don't feel like Disney movies, and Pixar movies don't even feel like Disney. I get what you mean when it's when it's core Disney, it's different than the others.
Yeah. But okay, with that in mind, do you keep up with D23 every year?
I didn't really know it existed until I think last year, maybe 2 years ago. And this was the first one that there were a ton of announcements I was really excited for. So this is the perfect podcast to do, because there were Star Wars announcements, there were Marvel announcements, there were all sorts of announcements that, for me at least, it felt like this was the first time that I got super excited about announcements at this expo. So I'm glad we get to record a podcast on it. Mm-hmm. So we should probably do that.
So usually you get something pretty good out of D23 every year. Usually footage of movies we've already heard of and whatnot. But this year things got big. This
crazy.
Is probably the biggest. This is easily the biggest D23 of all time, and also the first time that a Disney Expo has really made an impact on the cultural conversation of the day, so to speak. There's just a lot of stuff.
Twitter, a lot of the trending topics those days were the biggest Disney announcements. So
yeah. So we're gonna go over. We're gonna do what we did with Comic-Con, and we're just gonna go over through a recap, going through all the stuff that happened. And if you're thinking, man, there's this thing I really liked that I want to hear you guys talk about, yes, we will get to that. Don't worry.
Probably,
yeah. So we're gonna start off with where it all began, with Disney Animation, and there wasn't. There are a few big announcements, but nothing quite that huge.
Yeah, I want to begin. Nice things.
Yeah, I want to begin with talking about Gigantic.
Yes,
which
good.
I want to talk about how it was described by Disney Animation head John Lasseter.
I love that too.
It takes some guts to say, I'm going to tell the definitive story of this timeless story.
But it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
For
There's
those that
no
don't
other
know,
version of Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid
Right.
or...
For those that don't know,
any of
the
that.
quote was, when Disney does a fairy tale, it becomes the definitive version of it.
It really does.
And it's true. And so basically the setup for Gigantic is, there's no definitive version of Jack and the Beanstalk, and they're going to do it. They're going to kick down the door and say, this is a Jack and the Beanstalk story. We're
and
Disney.
There's been
boom.
There's been Jack and the Beanstalk movies for years, and it's one of the most popular fairy tales out there.
Yeah, and I don't really know why. I mean, it's fine, but I don't know why we have a kind of obsession with it.
Because it's like it's more fantasy-ish than most.
Yeah,
like,
and also it's
stories
not
of
that
this kind. Like, we're
depressing.
talking about giants, golden eggs, beanstalks that go really high. It's that kind of stuff. I mean, I would say one of the most famous stories, or one of the most famous interpretations, is Mickey and the Beanstalk. With,
Yeah,
like,
actually,
that
kind of pops in my head too.
Yeah, and that's weird because one of the most definitive stories of Jack and the Beanstalk stars a Disney character.
Yeah, so they kind of already did do their definitive Jack the Beanstalk.
Mm-hmm.
And then recently we had Jack the Giant Slayer, which you hated, which I was totally mad towards. And then even more recent, Into the Woods had Jack, and the Giants played a big role in the plot. So it sticks around, and Disney still wants to do the definitive version. An animated version, of course, so classic Disney animated. Excellent.
Yeah, so that was like, I think that was the big announcement from Disney Animation. It's just like, it's like a new Disney animated movie. It's just like, it's big. I will also say, while we're going to go to the next Disney feature, I would also say that this was not included in the recap webpage that I'm looking at right now, but on the video game end of things, we actually had an announcement that I didn't think I'd hear from D23, is that Big Hero 6 is going to be making an appearance in Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's
very strange. I would expect, like, Frozen. Like,
Frozen or like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah,
like,
that would be great.
The video game world.
Ooh,
that
they
would
could go pretty meta, Max. They could go pretty meta.
Yeah, it would. But also, like, what makes Wreck-It Ralph just like a popular video game thing is that, like, it's got a bunch of licensed characters.
Right.
Pretty much all of which are not owned by Square Enix.
Oh, you know what? That's probably why.
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
They probably
but I hope
don't
to see Ralph in there at least. Like,
yeah,
come
maybe.
on,
That's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to get on a tirade about Star Wars, Kingdom Hearts, or whatever, because it's dumb.
Can we do the kind of, for me at least, the kind of awkward, the Zootopia thing?
Oh, all right, yeah, we're going to get to our two female-led Disney animation stories. The first one coming from Zootopia, which is getting Shakira as a...
Gazelle.
As a gazelle, as a new cast member, and... oh, boy.
I don't, like, I
feel bad, Sean. I feel bad for the person who designed this character. Because it's a nicely designed character, but
I don't
you know what the
agree.
internet's going to do to this poor creature.
No, I don't agree. She looks weird. I don't like the... There's a difference between anthropomorphized animals. Like, the fox looks really good. And the bunny.
Yeah.
The two main. They look really good. That's a good way to anthropomorphize animals. But there's something about the, like... Don't make the antelope or the gazelle, whatever, don't make them sexy. Don't do the hips that don't lie kind of thing. Like, it just felt off.
Damn curves.
Exactly.
I will say it's kind of weird.
It's a gazelle. It's
It is kind of weird how on like just the top there's just like a geyser of blonde hair just spouting out of it.
Which that makes that's based off Shakira herself, so that part makes sense.
Maybe. No, I don't mean to downplay Shakira. I have no knowledge of her or her music. But I get the weird feeling that maybe she was in charge of this character's design.
Maybe,
and
I don't know.
It kind of backfired.
It looks weird. Like there's a huge thing about like in live action, it's like, oh, all the actors have to be like unrealistically thin and all this. But this is an animated movie. You didn't have to do this. This is a different issue.
This might be a parody though. Like the whole joke might be that she's. Looks like a fetishized animal.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to dwell too much on it. It's not a major story.
While we're at it, on the subject of Disney characters that look like people, doesn't Jason Bateman just look like a fox?
Jason Bateman does kind of. Yeah, I can see it. He's perfectly cast. I'm a big Jason Bateman fan. By the way, Max, have you watched any more Arrested Development?
No, not yet. No, I've been focusing on other venues of television. I don't know. So the other female-led Disney Animation Studio story, which is a very specific subsection, is Moana, which is the next Disney princess film. Yeah, this was announced years ago. It's like, I believe she is Polynesian?
I think so too.
I hope I'm not wrong there, but it's a woman of color who is going to be the main lead, and that's great. That's awesome. Like,
South Pacific. I'm seeing South Pacific on this story.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of... I can't find exact...
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, the main point is she's not like white. She's from South America. She's like, this is going to be a nice like it's a different take on things. Right. People say that Frozen was a little bit too whitewashed. That's I guess
it's going to change.
I'm in that same
it's
area.
It's going to change. But the exciting thing, the announcement from that, I'm very excited about.
Are we talking about Maui?
Yes.
All right.
No, we're talking about The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Cast
who's voicing the god Maui.
A god. Like, I mean, look, The Rock is pretty much a god, so this was not a stretch to cast him as a god.
Black Adam, he's basically going to be becoming, he's basically taking over the role of the hugely powerful deity characters.
Uh-huh.
Right? Isn't that what Black Adam is? Am I crazy? Is that?
Yeah, kind of, as I understand him. Again, I'm not as much into DC as Marvel, but yeah.
Yeah. So that looks awesome. I would say overall, like, the Disney animation had, like, a good showcase. I think you really just going back, Gigantic was just, like, a big, like, reveal because it is a classic story being Disney-fied.
Yeah,
and I'm looking
and we
forward
haven't
to
had that in a long time. Like, Tangled was pretty much the
bring
last
about
one.
this. Moana makes sense because we have we have the South Pacific, you said? Yeah, we have a woman of color in a place where a woman of color is, like, I guess, where that is normal. Now, with Jack and the Beanstalk, it takes place in a fictional realm, so they have every opportunity they have to get some more diversity, to get some more, like, progressive elements in there, and I'm hoping Disney follows up with that.
Let's see.
Hoping. Anyway, so we're going to move on now to my favorite, your favorite, everybody's favorite, Pixar. And they had some really interesting announcements that are not necessarily, like, jump out of your seat big.
But a lot of information.
A lot of information. First off, I just want to say, if you didn't hear, around the, like, I believe near the showcase, there were a bunch of posters for upcoming Pixar movies. And this included Toy Story 4, Cars 3, and The Incredibles 2, which had an awesome symbol.
Awesome logo.
Like, it was like, it's so awesome because it was just the logo, and you could clearly see the 2, and it's just like, that's all you need.
Yep.
Not The Incredibles 2, just bam.
The I, but the 2. It's perfect.
Yeah. Kind of sad we still don't have like a release date of that movie. Like not even like
that's a little worrisome, but
yeah. And there was no details of that movie unfortunately given. I guess it's just too far into development.
It's gonna make. It doesn't matter when they release. It's gonna make a bunch of money, so Disney will forgive Brad Bird for Tomorrowland. Yeah, all will be
and
well.
So will I. No,
it wasn't that bad. It was fine. Come on.
Okay, fine. So I'm gonna start off with the announcement that I was like kind of waiting for, just like. Finally, just give it to us. We finally got the name of the Day of the Dead movie that Pixar's been working on for years. It's called Coco. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of internet posts regarding the character from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, because that's how the internet works. But it's just like, it's the big Day of the Dead movie. Like, people keep saying, oh, it's the Book of Life, which was this movie last year, which was like...
So bad.
Was it really?
Yeah. From what I saw. I didn't see it, but come on.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
No.
Hey.
I've heard good things about it, so let's not do that.
Later in the podcast, you might regret scolding me there, Max, but we'll see.
Whatever. So yeah, I like, again, I've been waiting on that. It's going to be directed by Lee Unkrich, who directed Toy Story 3, so that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of Toy Story, segue. We had a whole podcast about Toy Story 4, or about sequel fatigue, or like the franchise ages, and in the wake of Toy Story 4's announcement. Now we got something that I think is a little bit worse than the announcement of Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 is going to be a love story between Woody and Bo Peep. And that's kind of weird because Bo Peep's voice actor is dead. And you know who acknowledges this? Toy Story!
Yeah,
Toy Story 3 begins with them acknowledging that Bo Peep is gone.
Well, apparently that's the plot. They go find Bo, but like, okay.
Yeah, this might be a prequel. Like when Woody is first introduced. But
that'd be kind of weird, because then we get Woody's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, he is.
So
he really is.
That's the point of Toy Story 1, so hopefully we don't, go back to that character.
His arc is that he's genuinely unlikable, and it just takes a while before people realize that.
Yeah.
It's just... but... I don't know, Sean. If they are doing a sequel, it's like, is Woody going to go out and find Bo Peep?
Yeah, see, what I heard is that it's Woody and Buzz going to find her. I don't really care about Bo Peep. That's what I'm just going to say. Like,
I like it. I like her. You know, I like the... What do you say, you and I find somebody else to watch the sheep?
Yeah.
That was even back then when I was a kid, I was like, oh, dang!
But like, Jesse's way better.
Yeah, Jesse's awesome. I mean, that might be a subplot. Like, Buzz still trying to impress Jesse even after 2 movies of trying.
But look, the last time Pixar did a love story, it was the first 20 minutes of Up, and it was the best thing ever. So maybe they can pull this off. Maybe they can make me care about this.
Just bring in Pete Docter as a consultant, and you're good.
Yeah, seriously, get Pete Docter in on that.
Mm-hmm. And for those who just really wanted to step on this grave, there was no news regarding Cars 3, so you don't have to get all up in arms about it.
But what about Planes 3? Why wasn't that front and center?
Was that was? It was funny is that movie got a sequel while it was in development.
That was weird.
It's crazy.
Oh, hey, transition. You brought up Pete Docter. The last thing, you get to kind of brag a bit here, Max.
Oh, that's right, y'all.
Yes.
I called it.
He called it. Pick up the phone.
And I spiked the audio too, but I called it. The first short from Inside Out, which will be getting, I guess, a series of short films, is about Riley's first date, and this date is with the kid from the end of Inside Out.
Which is great.
Yeah. Now, what's funny is it says Riley's first date with a question mark.
Right.
So that might mean it's one of those things where, it's not really a date, but they kind of want to explain. It'll just be that, thing. And apparently it's not from the perspective of Riley's emotions. It's going to be from her parents. Which kind of worries me,
but it kind of makes sense given the expense of Amy Poehler, Bill Hader, all them.
Yeah, but, okay, if this is the first in a series of shorts and they bring back Amy Poehler, they bring back
it would be cool if it rotated. Who's the focus on it changed a bit. If we got another short from Riley's perspective and then another short specifically in her head, and, it'd be cool if they kind of jumped around a bit. So I'm fine with it being with the parents' point of view. That's probably the more interesting point of view anyway, hey, daughter's first date.
I'm looking around. Do you know where this is supposed, how we're going to see this?
I thought it was supposed to be on the Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. If that's true, then awesome. Because I'm getting that Blu-ray and I'm going to watch that instantly.
I might have to get the Blu-ray. It's such a good movie.
If you guys don't remember, there were a bunch of Toy Story shorts that came before certain movies. I think Muppets Most Wanted had one. No, The Muppets from 2011, that had one. I think it was Cars 2 that had one. It was just from a few years ago. And I kind of want Inside Out to be that same thing. Because there's still a lot you can do with this world and a lot of great stuff that can come from it.
You could do a TV show, honestly.
Oh my god!
You guys built a really amazing concept. Go nuts with the shorts. I'm sure they'll be wonderful.
Yeah. Also, just on the side, we had some new voice actors announced for Finding Dory, which is coming out next year.
That's crazy.
Do you remember that when that movie was announced?
It didn't feel that long ago. It's boom, Finding Dory next year.
And it was supposed to be this year. It was pushed back.
Right. Yeah, it was pushed.
Yeah. We also got a little bit more information about the Good Dinosaur, who is still just trying to avoid the public eye for whatever reason outside of his trailer.
I'm very confused about that movie. I don't know what I'm going to think of it.
Well, it's one of those things where you just got to charge in, hoping for the best. And I think I'm on the movie side. I can understand when productions go awry and people can start doubting you. But I believe in Pixar, and I believe that this will turn out fine.
Oh,
hopefully.
I don't think
no judgment calls. But I'm thinking that it'll be people. If it doesn't turn out to be a Pixar hit, it'll be like A Bug's Life, where it's people enjoy it, it's a good movie, but just people kind of forget about it.
Look, it's going to be almost impossible to top Inside Out this year, but we'll see if you can. I'm going to be
That's not just for, that's for all movies.
Yeah, honestly. It might be, I think it's my second favorite Pixar movie. Up is number one still. It didn't quite get to Up levels for me, but it might be my second favorite. You are a Pete Docter fan. I am, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all for Pixar, I think.
Should we stick with should we stick with Disney specifically and do the Disney live action? Yeah, we'll
stick with Disney with some stuff from the live action front, which cool. I know you guys, not everybody's a big fan of Disney live action, but we gotta talk about this here.
How can you not be excited? I all these announcements are solid.
I guess I'm just not I don't know, I just did not pick up on this stuff. I heard the stuff from other announcements that we'll get to later. Don't worry.
Well, shall I just run through then really quick?
Yeah, you know what? You go for it. You have fun with this.
Well, I don't care too much about Pete's Dragon. I don't know much about it, but apparently they're making a new Pete's Dragon. So
I know. Okay. Yeah, I know for a fact that a friend of mine who was in the same internship program that I was this year, she was at. I don't know what I could say about it on air, but I'll just say that she was working on that movie, cool. While it was in pre-production. So nice. Yeah, it's been in the works for a long time. Have you ever seen the original Pete's Dragon?
A long time ago. Don't remember.
I've seen a title of it. I've never even seen any footage of it.
Huh. Interesting. And so then we got some footage. Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Is that Tim Burton? Do we know if that's Tim Burton?
Oh, wait, no, actually,
okay. Here we go.
I don't actually know, I just realized. But it says, it's described as a time-traveling sort of prequel. So it's kind of sequel prequel because of time travel, apparently, is a thing.
Oh, boy.
I love the first poster, which is, you should kind of just look it up. It's hard for me to describe, but it's the Mad Hatter walking across, this water, but, on a bunch of weird clocks. You kind of have to see it. It's really good. You should look it up. So I'm actually kind of excited based off the posters. I wasn't a huge fan of the first. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people, but I also don't really like the animated Alice in Wonderland, so maybe that's why.
Really? I really like the animated Alice in
for
Wonderland.
randomness' sake. I'm not a fan of that, so...
Oh, yeah. Blank for blank's sake is not Sean's favorite.
It isn't. That's weird. I've discovered that about myself through this podcast, yeah. Like, just Mission Impossible review, I was like, action for action's sake. I'm not a huge fan, so yeah. I'm pretty excited as a whole for Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, because I've liked all those movies.
Yeah, and apparently Orlando Bloom is coming back.
Exactly.
Is that right?
So I'm not like super stoked for that, though I do like that idea because, spoiler alert, for at World's End, so 2 movies ago, he's now Captain of the Dutchman.
Oh.
And the dream for me was an epic 3-way battle, because Captain Jack's got the Pearl back, Will's got the Dutchman, and now Barbossa has the Queen. What's Blackbeard's ship's name? It's very famous. I can't remember the name right now. Queen's Revenge, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they all have these legendary ships. So I'm hoping in Dead Men Tell No Tales we got a pretty sweet 3-way ship battle. Anyway, Orlando Bloom is coming back, so that's cool. And then finally, The Jungle Book is getting a live-action movie.
Directed by Jon Favreau.
Which, great. I like his stuff.
Yeah.
I still need to...
Did you see Cowboys and Aliens, though?
Yes, it was... meh.
Yeah.
I need to see Chef, though. I haven't seen Chef. But
Chef's
apparently the CGI is just amazing. Like, next-level stuff. Like,
awesome.
what Gollum was in Lord of the Rings, like, that just blew everyone away. We're going to get that again. So let's buckle up for that. That's very exciting. Mm-hmm. So, that's it for Disney live action.
Yeah. You know, Jon Favreau's also been working on a movie based on Disney's Magic Kingdom, which is their Disneyland / like one of their theme park things, which I want to see happen because I love that. And speaking of which, we got a ton of news on Disney theme parks. Now I want to talk about that before we get to the other thing. Don't worry, guys.
Well, wait, do we want to do Marvel first?
Oh. Dang it! Yeah, we do.
That'll be really quick. So the segue still counts.
I just trying to segue in there, so we'll use a segue in there. So there wasn't that much from Marvel Studios because again, that press conference from last October is just never going to top it.
Yeah.
Like never going to be topped. We got some stuff from Inception, Doctor Strange, which has been described as Inception, which is fine, but
it got me so excited.
Okay, yes, that's cool for you, and I like Inception, but I want Doctor Strange to be much more like visually like.
Well, that's the thing. It's
science
also
fiction because Inception is very much grounded in its own reality.
Oh yes, definitely. But what is reality? That's what Inception would say. Anyway, but I also read Doctor Strange is being described by the director of photography as Marvel's Fantasia. So I don't think you have to worry about it being visually interesting.
Oh, what Marvel's Fantasia? Does that mean it has like different like
visually
stories?
It's the director of photography saying this, so he's speaking visually.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang. Well, I mean, we gotta kind of keep that person's word for it because director of photography sees all the amazing shots. That's awesome. I am wondering, Sean, when do you think we'll see Cumberbunch in the
Civil War?
Civil War.
Either a cameo
is he in there
or a post credit scene.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe he'll pop in as a surprise, like really quick thing during the movie.
Or maybe you'll see like his back. You'll see like his hands all like mangled and whatever. Like he'll be like,
it's the next movie after Civil War, so he has to be in the post credits, right?
Or the mid credits and the post credits will be like.
Well, sure. When I say post credits, I mean one of the two. So if they do two, right?
Maybe they'll introduce a post mid. Before post-credits scene, where it's like in the middle of the credits. Just
honestly, just roll the credits as scenes play. Like do like 10-15 minutes of credits and 15 minutes of a post-credits scene. Just do it.
Yeah, or just roll the credits at the beginning of the movie and then just get on with it.
Yeah, that could work.
Let's see. That's how they used to do back in the day. So that was with Doctor Strange. Civil War got a bunch of footage.
Apparently, it's amazing.
People have been going crazy for it. It's had an incredibly good reception.
And Chris Evans was talking it up. Anthony Mackie was talking it up.
I didn't want to hear that many quotes, but like I think there were they describe if you guys heard of Birth Movie Death, it's a website kind of like it used to be called. I actually can't say it because that might
whatever. They're not going to flag us
Birth
now.
Movies Death. They posted up like a complete like play-by-play of the footage. They said it was incredible, and they had a bunch of quotes. And the only quote I saw, because I'm going to try and avoid seeing like all those wonderful quotes from Russo brothers movies now, is I want to punch you in your perfect teeth, which is what
Tony
Captain
says
Rogers said to Stark, and that's I mean, you can tell that, but like this is like excellent. And what I'm being told is that the footage, all the footage that was shown, always has Captain America in it, so he still will be the star of Civil War.
I believe them. I just think like it's so much bigger than just him, but whatever.
This is why the Russo brothers are like awesome. Like this exactly. Like, sorry, I've been on board with this movie and Infinity War because of the Russo brothers since day one. Yep. So I'm good.
All right, so now we can transition. You say you have a good transition?
Yes. Another thing that was actually shown was something called, I think it was called like the Iron Man Experience, which is coming to Tokyo's Disneyland in the form of like a Star Tours type thing where you like gotta destroy Hydra, which is trying to overtake, I think, Avengers Tower or Stark Tower or something like that. And like it's just gonna be, it's the first Marvel ride in the Disneyland theme, which brings us to Disney parks.
Yep.
Can we do that this time? Can I do it? Can that happen this time?
Yes.
Or did I forget? Yeah. So Disney parks, a lot of awesome stuff was announced for
way
Disney
more than
parks.
I expected.
Yeah, like
this is ambitious.
I mean, and this is weird because I, alongside you, Sean, made my first visit to Disneyland in like 6 years.
Yeah, we went like wasn't it like 2 weeks ago? It wasn't that long ago. We were there.
No, it was on July 31st.
Right.
So it was
it's been a little
the end of last month, and it was awesome, and it was a really good time.
Yes.
And it's just really weird now, like that we're in the midst of it. However, I would say more was announced for the Orlando studios for Disney World than Disneyland, because the first thing that I want to talk about is Toy Story Land, which is
very surprising to me.
Really, is it?
I mean, I get that it's like there's a ton of directions you can go with that. There's enough material, you can have a lot of fun with the parks, but at the same time, the popularity of Toy Story doesn't seem to be like. I don't know. Like, it seems like this should have been in its heyday, and now they're just people like the movies. But I don't know. It seems a bit sudden. Like, just all of a sudden, they're dedicating so much to this one franchise. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be good, but that just kind of caught me off guard.
That was my reaction to Cars World or Cars Land.
Oh, they just did like one ride, right?
No, it's like a full-fledged like land in California Adventure. Like,
that's why. Well, they pushed it to California Adventure, which is like the secondhand Disneyland.
Hey, California Adventure is pretty dang cool. Trust me. And it's got actually its own version of the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, which is just Toy Story Mania, which is just like, again, like one of those point and click in real time. But like, I'm really excited for this because this feels like it was something that was planned long ago that's finally coming to fruition.
Right, that's
no
why
Cars
it feels
Land,
off to me.
Toy Story Land.
Yeah, that's why it feels off, because I feel like this should have been a while ago.
It should have been a thing like 7-8 years ago.
Right.
Like, this should have debuted with California Adventure right when Toy Story 2 had just come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
but I'm so glad for it. It's going to be basically like, it's going to kind of size you down and have a bunch of stuff that like looks big, but it's actually like household appliances. It's, going to have like tons of stuff. I want to see somebody in a full-on Zurg costume.
Yeah, totally.
Like, completely like official. Because first off, I feel bad for the person in there because that's going to be hot.
Well, all those costumes are hot.
Really hot. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Again, I'm just not I've never been to Disney World and never had much of an implication but this might convince me otherwise. Also coming to Disney Hollywood Studios. I don't know why I keep saying Hollywood Studios as opposed to Disney World. Is Frozen Ever After, which is a new dark ride featuring Frozen. And I saw one picture of it. It's basically like you're going. There's one point where you're going through Elsa's castle and you're always in a boat.
Yeah, so I mean, that's like cool.
Splash Mountain, you know what I'm saying? That would be awesome.
That would actually be cool.
You slide down a bunch of ice instead of like water, which is incredibly dangerous.
And
I hope they
the
actually
movie
don't do that.
the ride is based off doesn't have questionable racial undertones. So yay. Yeah. What? Splash Mountain is based on Song of the South.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And I've seen that, actually. I was in a Disney class, and I've seen Song of the South.
Oh, the other thing that really surprised me is none other than Avatar is coming to Disney theme parks.
Okay, guys, let's sit down. Let's have a talk.
Yeah.
Okay, just...
James, may I call you James?
May I call you James? No one cares about Avatar anymore.
This is really weird. Mr. Cameron, I appreciate your love for this franchise, but it's not a franchise yet.
I don't know how to tell you this. You made a mega popular movie almost 7 years ago. I don't think this sequel trilogy you got planned is really something people are clamoring for, and I don't know if a theme park edition is anticipated either. Avatar's an enigma to me because it is the highest grossing film of all time, yet no one talks about it, and now it's suddenly becoming big. Like, we got a sequel coming out, I think 2019 or 18.
Right.
And then it's going to be a trilogy. We have 3 more Avatar movies planned. We have a theme park coming now. Why didn't this happen in 2009 when it was literally the biggest thing ever? What was this delay? Did people forget? Like, I honestly am very confused by this Avatar situation. Like,
and the fact that it's coming to Disney of all places.
Yeah, why Disney? In Disney World they have Animal Kingdom, and it's done very well, and it's pretty much going to be like that, but alien Animal Kingdom.
What is Animal Kingdom? Describe it to me,
It's basically
Sean.
It's basically Frontierland. Where it's kind of a mix of frontier and adventure. Like, you got the big tree of life in the center. You got some animal-themed rides. You have Expedition Everest, which is pretty much the Matterhorn. That sort of thing is Animal Kingdom. It's kind of that theme. So I feel like it's going to be kind of like that, only it's going to be alien jungle and stuff. So I think it's going to be done well, and it is a cool world, so I'm interested to go. But I just don't know why this didn't happen, like, immediately. Like, when this movie was hyped up a lot, why didn't they start planning, like, before the movie even came out? It's 2015. I think it's a little late.
Yeah, I think it's too little too late in the franchise age, and especially in the age of millennials, excuse me. We forget about things quickly, and we are very impatient.
And with Avatar, we forget for good reason. I mean, it's okay.
Really?
No, it's okay. I don't dislike
Avatar.
Avatar.
It's kind of like if they decided to open a Titanic theme park right now. First off, that would not be fun.
No,
it would probably be really tragic, actually. But also, it would feel really late. Like,
right.
It wouldn't, even though people love Titanic and it's still a popular thing, Titanic is helped because it's based on, like, an event that people still talk about. Avatar is not.
Now, here's the
Avatar
thing.
is a completely original movie that was huge and then just kind of disappeared.
And here's the thing. There were rumors for quite a while that Universal Studios was exploding and getting this huge Middle-earth extension. Like, all this Lord of the Rings stuff and Hobbit stuff. And I was so excited. This was like 3-4 years ago. And it hasn't happened. I don't think it's going to happen.
Instead, you got a bunch of architects asking for billions of dollars through crowdfunding and to build some fictional city.
Oh, that's going to be so cool. It's not going to work, but if it did, that'd be so cool. But anyway, that's a franchise. That's something that makes sense. There is so much Middle-earth lore. There are now 6 movies in Middle-earth. That makes sense. Avatar is 1 movie. Avatar was 6 years ago. What do you get? We should move on. Yeah. I'm not really frustrated as much as I'm just so confused. And
hey, maybe it'll be fun. Maybe
I'm sure it will be. I just don't know why now.
I think maybe why now is exactly that, because James Cameron has realized that it's far too late to like just try to get just a movie, like a sequel out there. So he's got to like try and build up with a theme park. Like, how many movies get a theme park side? Like, it's not even like one movie. Right now, Avatar Land is based off 1 movie.
Yep.
That is, it's the best, it's one of the highest grossing movies of all time.
It is the highest grossing, yeah.
But, like, it's 1 movie.
We should move on. I don't want to think about it.
It's like if you based Harry Potter World off of Sorcerer's Stone and not anything else. It's like, why? Why don't you just make it become a franchise? Anyway. Alright. So, there's something else that was talked about in regards to Disney theme parks. And it had to do with franchise, little art house franchise, called Star Wars. But before we get to that, I would like to talk about the Star Wars movie stuff before we get to what everybody's talking about.
Yes.
So, do you want to just get this out of the way? Because
No. We were just so negative. Let's do a little positivity first.
All right, yeah. So first off, I was really excited because we got. I was really excited for this. We got a Star Wars: The Force Awakens poster from the legend Drew Struzan, which. Like, Drew Struzan has done so many great posters over the years, and a lot of posters that you see today are modeled after his style. If you can remember back in, like, the 80s, like, if you just look online, you'll see, like, a lot of hand-drawn posters of, like, that look very nice and have a bunch of stuff going on in them. Like, do you remember the, the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone poster? That was designed by him, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that one with, like, Harry in the center with all the different people looking and whatnot. Like, that was like, that had photos, but there was a drawn version of it with a few other, like, details. He does that stuff. And he did the first 3 Star Wars movies, and it was awesome. And so he's doing it now, and it's very much in line with what J.J. Abrams and Disney is doing with Star Wars The Force Awakens, in that they're not telling us anything outside of, oh, there's this person, and there's this conflict.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't really like the poster that much.
I'm a little bit disappointed
it's
too.
Sparse. It's like just so little, and I know this movie has so much more. And it's also, it feels like off-centered, like it's heavy on the right because the left side is so light. I don't know. Something's off about it. And Harrison Ford doesn't look great.
This is a teaser poster. I'd like to see full theatrical, like maybe even after the movie comes out, poster drawn by Struzan with like whatever. Because I'm pretty sure maybe he was. I want to say maybe he was like held back a bit, like they're like he was like, I want to draw this part because he maybe knows a lot more about the movie. And like, no, you have to keep it like Finn, Rey, and
let me say this.
Kylo Ren.
Rey looks amazing in it. Like that look, it's like boom, and the way she's holding the gun or whatever that is. People are speculating if it also has a lightsaber in it. I have no idea, but she looks awesome. And John Boyega, Finn, is that the character's name?
Yes.
Yeah, Finn looks good too, and it's kind of a big deal that he has Luke's lightsaber. Specifically, Anakin's Luke's first lightsaber. So that's interesting. But man, she's front and center.
I never even noticed that. Oh my god, that actually says a lot about what the story is. All right, let's not do this.
Yeah, we had a whole episode on speculation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it before the movie comes out.
A piece of news that I want to just really quickly touch on is that there were a bunch of Lego sets for The Force Awakens that was shown that made me very excited because I'm a Lego nut. I love Legos. And these ones were very like standard. They were just like Resistance X-Wing and... First Order TIE Fighter, like nothing great, but there is Rey's speeder that you saw in the first teaser that I'm going to freaking buy day one. Like, it all looks cool.
The popsicle?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it looks like.
What's interesting though is that all of the like the box art and much of like the first promotional material for The Force Awakens features Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
like
he's kind of the Vader. He's the iconic image, I guess.
Yeah, which is something powerful because he's got to be at least a little bit, like, it's got to be at least... This is the first time that we're seeing somebody else take over for Darth Vader's, like, iconic evil thing. Because in the prequels, we all knew that it was about Darth Vader. Like, Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And before that, we had, it was Darth Vader as the villain. Like, the villain from beginning to end of the trilogy. This is the first time we're seeing somebody that's not Vader on the cover. And it's, I mean, look, Kylo Ren's awesome. It's just, that's a big precedent to set. And I'm hoping the movie, and the trilogy for that matter, gives us something great.
Though I'm more excited for Captain Phasma as a villain, so.
Oh, yeah, totally. I want, like, can we get, like... I need to get a Lego Chrome Trooper.
Oh, I would buy that so fast. You have no idea.
Just like a little minifigure. Like, you could sell it for $20. People would still buy it because that's not totally a huge ripoff. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that because I love Lego. I introduced you to Lego a bit, Sean. I mean, not introduced, but like we built a set together. That was fun, right?
That was fun. We built. I think we mentioned we built the Hulkbuster. The Hulkbuster fight from Age of Ultron.
It actually took a nasty spill, and I have to build it back together. But yeah, did not do well. But like that's why. Like I love building sets, especially vehicle stuff. So make sure you buy Lego Star Wars. Then we get more of that and stuff that's not as like super generic as X-Wing, TIE Fighter, and Speeder. So next up, let's see. I want to move on to the next film in the Star Wars series, Rogue One.
Yep.
Which is now kind of like is it Star Wars anthology? Is it gonna like because now it says Rogue One, a Star Wars story?
I don't know.
Now, I like Star Wars Rogue One. I like that. I like that's the title, but not Star Wars Anthology Rogue One. That's kind of dumb.
It's just like it's I guess I think of it as Star Wars Rogue One, part of the Star Wars Anthology. Like anthology, I don't say it out loud. I guess I don't know which I prefer.
Because like the anthology, that's a really cool idea. Like it just, I mean,
it is.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Sean, I think we did a whole podcast on this that never made it to broadcast, didn't we?
I thought that one came out.
I thought that one was so glitchy. I don't know. We've had a few mishaps over the years in like how we live these podcasts. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's still part of the Star Wars anthology, but it's just Star Wars Rogue One. But there was a cast photo which had a bunch of names, and really this cast is very diverse.
Yeah,
like it's got people from all over. It feels a little bit more like a united human race than white guy, white girl, white guy, white guy, white guy, and also black guy.
Yeah,
like like what we usually see. Like, let's be honest. But I mean, that's cool.
We have the addition of Mads Mikkelsen, who is Hannibal in NBC Hannibal, or Le Chiffre in Casino Royale, and then we have Alan Tudyk.
Oh, that's why he looked familiar.
Yep, that's him. And then we have Alan Tudyk, who's a big comedy actor, but he's done some serious stuff as well. And Forrest Whitaker I don't know if that was new. That was new to me. That Forrest Whitaker's in there. Like that's cool.
Like he was signed on. There was like a news story about it, but then like it just disappeared after a while.
He's big. Like he's a prestige actor, and boom, he's Star Wars. So that's exciting.
Wait,
yes, Lee Daniels, the butler. Legal reasons. We have to
because
correct you
he
there,
was
Max.
produced by. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wait,
nothing else came out for Rogue One, right? It was just the photo and the new cast, so we can.
Yeah.
Move on.
So, yeah, still looking forward to that movie.
Oh yeah,
I'm
totally.
Freaking stoked that. So I guess we have to do it now, don't we, Sean?
No. Let me see. Oh, one cool thing for the Force Awakens. Did you hear? We now know its current runtime
is like 2 hours.
Yes,
right now.
It's roughly about just a straight. It's 124. It's the current runtime. 124.
People don't talk about how long the Star Wars prequels are. Like those are like long. 2.5 hours, whereas the Star Wars original trilogy is all just like 2 hours flat.
Yeah, New Hope is 121. Empire Strikes Back is 124. Return of the Jedi is 131. Then Phantom Menace was 133. Attack of the Clones 142. And Revenge of the Sith 140. So yeah, they were closer to the 2.5.
Yeah. It's amazing how much like a few minutes can make in your runtime.
Yeah,
it really is.
And I like that it's shorter, honestly. Like, I don't want it to be
not even short. It's like it's as long as a regular Star Wars movie that,
right.
From the original
I would
trilogy.
be afraid if it was too long. They're like, we got to do everything that the fans want from this new Star Wars movie and this and this. I like that it's a very 2 hours. That seems dead on for what I want. There's plenty of time to have a great big story, but it's not going to be overstuffed. You know, it's good.
I suppose I just wouldn't mind. Like I don't know why. Like I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I wouldn't mind 2.5 hours of Force Awakens. I wouldn't mind that at all. Like if it's as long as all the good stuff is good.
Yeah, I mean if it's all still good, of course. But I would be a little worried if it was too long. If it was Peter Jackson's The Force Awakens is what I'm saying. It's like 4 hours.
So
we got to do it.
That's pretty awesome.
We got to. This is unfortunate.
We got to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, when we were actually covering Comic-Con in our last recap of a major event, there was a rumor that was brought up, but then quickly denied by us, not by anybody else, but I guess by us.
We were in denial. Okay.
Yeah, we were in denial about it because we knew it wouldn't happen. We knew, come on, there's no way they would do it. There's no way.
Come on, guys.
And then it did happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Disney has announced that the director of Star Wars Episode 9, the finale in one of the biggest trilogies to not be out yet, is the director of Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow. I think you said it to me, Sean. This is the first time that that Disney has really screwed up.
That's what I messaged. Yeah, I messaged you that. I said this is the first legitimate big mess up of the Star Wars
Disney
resurgence.
Star Wars era.
Like, look, just everything they've been doing right. They jumped ahead in the story, but they're keeping some of the old characters. J.J. Abrams was a good pick. They have a great think tank of really good writers and minds to come up with the trilogy as a whole and this one movie. Rian Johnson was a good pick for Episode 8. Rogue One looks really good. That was
so cool.
Phil Lord, Chris Miller are going to do great. And even like extra stuff like the Star Wars Battlefront going over to DICE. Even these other things related to, but not directly these movies, everything's been going so well. Its implementation in like Disney Infinity even, or Star Wars Rebels, or all this stuff, this new resurgence of Star Wars, which I'm so excited for, everything is good. Everything is a choice that I can get behind. And then they just... Colin Trevorrow. They fart out his name.
I want to point out that the reason why Battlefront went to DICE is because EA bought the rights to Star Wars games for like 10 years.
But like that's the thing. Yeah. Everything has gone smoothly. Even
so far.
Right, that's true. Maybe we see Episode 7 and it's a complete disaster. I highly doubt it, but...
Listen, Phantom Menace did it, as Whitley pointed out. So,
yeah, that's true.
You never know what can happen. But essentially, what we have here is the case of a studio looking at a director and going, that guy's movie made like $1 bajillion. Let's just get him on board.
Here's the thing. Even though it made $1 bajillion, that doesn't mean it was a beloved film.
A lot of people did like it.
I know, but let me say this. I don't think it's going to stick around much. I don't think people are going to be talking about it in a few years. Like, I just don't see it happening. Like, what is there to discuss? What impact has it had?
Well, it's gotten this impact, and it's not great.
Yeah.
Like, here, okay, it's not the guy that directed Jurassic World. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is that this man has gone on record saying that he is not ready to direct blockbusters because he's done one indie movie and he had to act like he was far more experienced than he actually was on the set of Jurassic World. And now he's just doing the biggest blockbuster you could possibly imagine.
You're giving him the blockbuster franchise.
I'm sorry, do you want to screw this up, buddy?
It's
Why did
okay.
you agree?
You know what? Let's calm down and think about this. It wasn't that long ago. Josh Trank was signed on for a Star Wars movie,
This is true.
and it was like a done deal. And then it didn't happen.
Yeah.
He left. Disney fired him. Whatever happened behind the scenes, we may never know.
Mm-hmm.
It stopped. Maybe this won't go through. Maybe not.
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe we will get Whedon. Maybe we'll get someone totally new. Maybe we'll get who'd be a terrible pick? Burton. Yeah, Tim Burton's Star Wars. Imagine that.
You know, Brad Bird, like, he
could do okay.
turned down Star Wars Episode 9.
No, I think
he did that.
Or 7. He actually turned down 7 to make Tomorrowland.
For Tomorrowland.
In hindsight, probably not the best decision of his career, but
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020, or I guess in his case, 55-55. You know what I'm saying? I'll be here all week.
I legitimately don't get that joke.
Because it's 55% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, no one's gonna get that.
All right, whatever. The weirdest part about this, though, is the fact that Trevorrow was hired, presumably, because Jurassic World did so well, and yet they hired Rian Johnson, a man whose films have never been that big.
Right, Looper was a kind of a almost a sleeper hit, kind of like
Looper, Sleeper, yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. He hasn't had the huge big commercial boom.
Yeah,
but
you know what he has? What you know what he has? A critical boom. Like he's, he's like not beloved because he's not as as well known as other directors like J.J. Abrams, but like his stuff has gone over very well. So the fact that Disney made this very calculated choice to pick a director whose films have never been that big, like really paid off. It's kind of like when Marvel Studios hired Edgar Wright to direct Ant-Man. But like now they're going after this guy who's again been on record saying he's not.
And look, let's be honest. What he brought to the film is not what made it popular.
Oh God, no! He didn't bring anything to the film. Yeah, that's the problem.
That is the problem. You what did you tweet? Please, here's the thing where Sam's going to bite you. I did love that this news broke Max. People that have listened to this podcast might know how much he says, come on, you got to be fair. You got to give a movie a chance. You got to do this. He's like, I don't believe in expectations. My expectations is I'm going to see a movie. And then this broke him, and he tweeted,
"It really did.
I'm gonna give the benefit of that. Oh, screw it! Get ready for Star Wars Episode 9 to be pathetically average and socially deaf." I'm like, yes, they broke Max.
I was so like destroyed because this seems so like it seems so counterintuitive to all that Disney's done. There must be something. There must be something in the cards here that we're not seeing.
This seems to be like a really obviously bad choice. This isn't even like, now hear us out, here's our reasons. This just seems like a bad choice at face value. I don't get it. And what is good is apparently the trilogy has been planned out. So he can't like totally mess with stuff on a basic plot level. At least that's as I understand it. They had a big think tank of everyone. Turned out Simon Pegg was actually part of that. They have the whole trilogy planned out. 7, 8, 9, all linked together, all tidy and neat. Mm-hmm. But still, I don't want him directing it. I throw him at a bunch of other blockbusters first. I'm sure he will get good enough to do it. But, not now. Not after Jurassic World. And look, the last time I thought that was a terrible choice for director, Fantastic Four happened.
Oh, boy.
So that didn't go great.
Let me reiterate. The worst movie I've seen in years. All right. Okay. Maybe Episode 9 will not be that. Because Jurassic World, I stress, was not a bad film. It was just a really average one. And my last thought on this, before we get to the really cool news that I've been waiting to talk about, is that when J.J. Abrams was announced, I got on where I was coming from on Twitter, there was a lot of like backlash. A lot of people were against it because a lot of them were Trekkies who weren't a huge fan of the Star Trek movies, but more so, one critic spoke out saying that I don't like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies have existed to remind us how awesome Star Trek is without telling a story of its own.
Yeah, and
he said I do not need the new Star Wars movies to tell me how awesome the original Star Wars movies are because I already know that. This is where I think Episode 9 will go. Not Episode 7, Episode 9.
That is
because Jurassic World was entirely about, dude, how awesome was Jurassic Park? Ooh. Let's just do it again.
Wow, that's a really good point. Oh, so, now I'm even more worried.
Yeah. Again, this is entirely tentative. Like, Episode 9 isn't supposed to come out for another 4 years, so maybe things will change. People hoped things would change with J.J. Abrams, but then that didn't happen, so we'll find out. Like, I'm worried, but maybe he'll get like some directing counseling or something. Maybe he'll work to become a better director, and we'll see what Safety Not Guaranteed did, because Safety Not Guaranteed is a good movie. Like, make no mistake, it's a good, well-made movie. Aubrey Plaza is great, but okay, we're gonna put this down. We're gonna put this down for whatever, you know. In the coming months, we'll see more about this, but we're just gonna leave well enough alone, because this is clearly gonna get us both into a lot of just endless ranting.
Yep.
So we're gonna move on to probably easily my favorite news of D23 2015, which was that coming to Disneyland and Disney World will be the biggest expansion in the history of Disney theme parks, revolved entirely around Star Wars. It's 14 acres, built, I believe, right near Frontierland, I believe, in Disneyland. But basically, it's going to be entirely, like, in story, like, you're going to be in the Star Wars universe. There will be no cast members. That mean people who, like, sell you stuff and, like, have just, like, a regular Disneyland outfit. Everybody's going to be costumed. There's going to be, like, animatronic beasts walking around.
So cool.
Like, there's going to be, like, rides that are all going to be in canon. Like, everything's going to have, like, a purpose in the Star Wars story, which is interesting. Bob Iger specifically mentioned that there would be some kind of ride that would be customizable. Like, not randomized like Star Tours, but customizable. Huh. Speaking of Star Tours, we're going to get a few updates with that, including a visit to Jakku, which is the place from Episode 7. Mm-hmm. But there were rumors that Toontown was going to be destroyed. Toontown would be like Alderaan and go away, while Star Wars would be taking its place. But no, that's not happening. Thank God. Good. Toontown is my heaven, so I don't want it to go away. But yeah, this is incredible, Sean. What do you think?
It's kind of like it feels so obvious now that it's actually finally happening. It's kind of unreal. It's like, this should have happened a long time ago. I would have loved to step into all the Star Wars stuff. One Star Wars ride is really underusing your property, your intellectual property of Star Wars. So I am very excited for this. It's kind of like, I have to see it though, because it's kind of like, again, it's this idea of how, like, man, they should do a Star Wars thing. Now they say they're doing it.
Might be a little bit too ambitious.
No,
maybe.
I mean, they're throwing a lot of money at this, a lot of land.
Yeah, they are.
But if anything can pull it off, it's Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Like, if any IP can deserve and legitimize and pull off all this, you know, all these rides, all this space, this totally new wing of the park, it's Star Wars. Like, I was talking about Lord of the Rings, but even more so than Lord of the Rings is Star Wars.
Didn't I say that, like, Star Wars could be its own... I think I said this to you while we were in Tomorrowland. I think I said Star Wars deserves its own theme park.
Yeah, totally.
And this is kind of it.
Oh, this is totally it.
Yeah, it's not going to be called Star Wars Land, though. Please don't call it that. No. That's dumb. It's like, call it just like... I think there was a rumor that was going to be called Star Wars: The Galactic Experience, which is fine. But
that's okay.
All we know is that production on, like, the actual, like, construction will begin in at most by late to 2017. Like, it's going to be a while before we see this thing come to fruition.
Yeah,
I'm going to be there. I'm going to check it out. I'm really excited because there's like a lot of really great possibilities for what Star Wars could, you know, bring to the table in terms of, like, theme parks. I know there's, like, I think there's going to be, like, a First Order ride and a Resistance ride. I think this is going to be all Episode 7 based.
I don't think they should do all. They should do quite a bit, I assume, to help promote the film.
But... like, because apparently all this stuff is supposed to be in canon. Which is interesting. Like, it's not going to be, like, relive your favorite movie moments from the original trilogy. It's going to be, like, all this is going to be based in the... I think so. Because, like, how can it not be in story if it's, like, not happening the same... Whatever. Whatever. I'm not going to try and make Star Wars Land a part of the Star Wars cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But speaking of cinematic universes, I'm surprised Marvel didn't get more attention in terms of theme parks. Like, right? You know, except for that Tokyo Disneyland one. Like, don't you think, like, the Avengers deserve a little bit more of, like, just at least a single ride as opposed to meet the Avengers and shake their hand and take a picture of them, or meet people dressed as the Avengers?
They need a bit more of a presence, but again, Star Wars is probably the most deserving, so I'm glad at least it's getting it.
Absolutely. Star Wars is, like, one of the most bulletproof, like, franchises of all time. Yep. Most bulletproof anything of all time. So I think we'll be fine. We'll be just fine. I'm really looking forward to what this has to bring. I'm just looking forward for more details. Like, I'd like to see maybe next year at D23 we see, like, an example of one of these animatronic things that are just going to be walking around.
That's so weird.
Not like a, you know, like how it is in the revisions of Episode 4 when, like, they go into Mos Eisley and, like, you see, like, that weird thing walking around, like, just like kind of galloping. Like, it's It's getting very confusing. But what I mean to say is that like it's going to be a much more organically created environment than the usual very kind of artificial, cinematically inclined Disneyland and Disney World experience. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be like there when it happens, whenever it does. But yeah, that's the big news, I think, that like set the internet on fire. And you can guess that I will not be able to actually go here for 6 years after its release because everybody will be there and I will never be able to get in.
Yeah, it's going to be very,
That's happening with Harry Potter
very
World.
crowded.
Yeah. I think, all right, and with that, I think we're going to get out of here. It was a overall very, very, very good D23. I really enjoyed myself. I was just like, there's a lot of great announcements, a lot of great stuff about Disney's future. It just tells me that, like, nobody's ever, literally no one on this planet is ever in doubt of Disney's, like, success. Because there's no way, everybody's always thinking, like, yeah, Disney's always going to be around. But, like, it's still good to see that the company is in, like, a good mindset right now.
Yeah.
So, do you have any closing comments, John?
No, I think it was a good expo. A lot of exciting announcements. You pretty much heard them all. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have any grand wrap-up, but yeah.
And if I may, I'm pretty sure next year is just not going to be as big.
No, this is, like, prime for, like, a bunch of their big projects. Yeah. Maybe we'll, if they bring, like, first Incredibles 2 footage... That'd be cool next year.
Oh my god! No, they would just bring maybe the voice. Oh man, don't do that. I cannot believe you just said that, Sean. Because now I'm going to be hoping next year, and oh man, this is the best thing to happen in August for movies. This really is. Anyway, with that in mind, guys, we'll see you next week. My name is Matt.
Movie League.
Oh. With that in mind, guys, Fantasy Movie League. My name is Max.
Yes, Fantasy Movie League. So I'll take over from here before you hurt yourself.
Yep. Sorry about that. I always forget about Fantasy Movie League. Always forget.
Well, I don't. I was on top of it here. So last week I took a bit of a gamble. And it actually wasn't that bad. So, hold on. Give me just 1 second. My webpage freaked out. There we go. So at number 5, we have Get One's movie Fun times 8. With 59.5 million, and they actually left a note for us.
Is it just a regular note or like a video?
On the Fantasy Movie League, the league chatter, you can apparently post notes and stuff, and so it's from Get One in movie Fun times. Yeah. It's Gatlin. The one is makes sense now. Makes sense. Big. So it says, "I'm Gatlin. I'm 13, and my favorite movie is Inside Out. Second, X-Men: Days of Future Past. Excellent choices." For favorite movies, by the way. Apparently we have a listener that we didn't know about. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to now we officially know who you are. It's fun that we're so small we can know who all of our listeners are, theoretically. So now we know who you are, at least a little bit. So thanks for leaving a message. So number 5. And number 4, Seth is back. His computer is fixed, and he came in 4th with 66.39 million. My mom, Lame Chick Flicks Are Art Cineplex, 69.3 million. Me in second with 93.1 million. And then with a very big jump for a very specific reason, Max at number 1 with 123.3 million. And the reason is Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton.
I just like to say for the record that I was expecting it to make number 1. I just didn't think it'd be number 1 by as much as it was. So I was wrong, but not completely wrong.
Yeah, it was big.
It was pretty big.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like it was huge. I mean, I still want to go see that movie. Hopefully by the time you're hearing this, audience, I have seen that movie. But yeah, it's what happens, man. I had a feeling that Straight Outta Compton was going to be big, and it is. Like it's still being talked about. Like it's it's it didn't just win the weekend. Like it's winning like just people's attention for a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing it whenever I do.
Yeah. So, this week's picks, do you mind if I just run through mine first really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I've got 2 Straight Outta Comptons, because I learned my lesson, and 2 Sinister 2s. So that's first half. And then I got a nice little mix. Rogue Nation, think it's going to hold okay. American Ultra is a new release, but it's not getting great reviews, and I just haven't heard as much buzz, so I didn't want to do more than 1 theater. And then The Gift and Ant-Man, just because I think they're making some, and I needed 2 more theaters. So The Gift and Ant-Man, those are my 8. So, huzzah. Max?
Well, mine is actually very similar to yours, except it's actually kind of giving American Ultra a lot of credit.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing 1 Straight Outta Compton showing, 2 Sinister 2 showings, as you have, 2 Mission Impossible Rogue Nations, because I think that'll be I think that's got like 1 or 2 more weeks of some box office potential, and 3 showings of American Ultra.
Ooh.
I just think it's gonna. I think Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart are gonna bring in a lot of people. I don't think it's gonna be like the biggest movie of the.
Yeah, you
week,
might be right. You might be right,
but I think it'll do it. I think it'll be like number 2 or 3. So I have that. I don't know which will win the weekend, though. I think Straight Outta Compton will continue its dominance. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to win. And Sinister 2, I always
Dang it.
horror
I'm
crowds,
really starting to...
What? Hey, you can't change it. You said it. Them the rules.
I can't change it. I couldn't...
Them the
Dang
rules.
It. Are you sure?
Yes. And that is the end of Fantasy Movie League. As Max sits there and wallows in regret. That's how I like to end it, at least.
Yeah.
If you want to join, head on over to fantasymovieleague.com, and the league that we're under is Rule Thirds. The password is Cinemattack. No caps, one word, Cinemattack. That's it. So that's the end of Fantasy Movie League.
Yeah. Let me just ask, Gatlin, leave in the comments or something like that. How did you discover us?
Yeah, that I am curious, because we're so tiny. How did you find us?
It's like, you know, did you get the suit, turn to Ant-Man, just like, hey, there's that podcast.
We're so small.
It's really, really small,
Ant-Man.
though.
I get it. That was clever. Good job, Max. Please take us out, Max. Just end this.
All right. So, with that in mind, guys, thank you for listening. Stay classy. My name is Max.
And my name is Sean.
We'll see you next week. Hear us later.
You'll hear us later indeed. And this was the happiest podcast on earth.